What's up? So, we're gonna try to teach whoever wants to learn how to make a rap song, right? The way I make them, anyways. And the first thing I want to show you guys is the app itself. Hold on, because I gotta change this thing over here. Because the Play Store is not gonna turn to the side is the thing for the full screen. But the app you need is spelled Voloco, Voloco. What that app is, it's a music studio app where you could download free from copyright beats, right? That means it doesn't have a copyright on YouTube, and I don't know what the hell all of this is. Or you could download any beat, whatever, from anywhere. Just make sure it's not copyrighted. But you're gonna take the beat itself. Once you got the MP3, you're gonna take it to what the hell you call that shit? Voloco. The app Voloco. Hold on, I'm about to flash it on screen right now for you guys so you can see it. Voloco. Okay, so that's the app right there, right? Boom. Then the next thing you're gonna need is, hold on, let me go over here. Let me see what I got here. Matter of fact, you might not even need this, but the guy might talk about it, that you could find noun generators, what you call it, random noun generators on the internet. You're gonna type that into Google and then look for a website. The way it works is, let's say you having a writer's block. You don't know what to rhyme about. You don't know what to write about. You know, you don't got no subject. You just want to make a song though, and you need to find words or whatever to get your thought out, or maybe just to what you call it, crowd. What the fuck you call that shit? Like trying to get ideas, man. Right? So he's gonna tell you about that, or he might not. I think it was the other guy. Then the other thing is, well, okay, boom. So, hold on, I'm trying to think. How the hell do I make this music? Well, you could download in that Voloco app. Once you finish your song, you could download it as an MP3, or you could download it in as a video, because you might want to put it on YouTube, right? But the way I do it, I take random videos from Instagram. There's a whole bunch of AI videos in there, but you don't have to get it from Instagram if you don't have Instagram. You could get these videos from anywhere, really. Like to make a music video, if you don't want to put yourself in it, and then you're gonna take all those videos to another app. Well, actually, there's like thousands of them on Google Play. I'm imagining there's a whole bunch on the iPhone store as well. But it's video editor apps, right? Video editor apps, and the ones that allow you to put all these videos together for like 2 minutes straight. You're just gonna have random videos playing back to back. Then you're gonna place the MP3 of your song on top of that video. And then once you finish, you hit save, and now you got a whole music video. That's how easy it is. It's not that hard, right? You might want to touch it up a little bit and fix it up to make it look good, but that's basically it. So now you got the app to record. You could get the beats from anywhere, including YouTube, and you got the random noun generator. The next problem is most people, they don't know how to count bars. That's the problem. So that's what I'm about to play now on screen, right? I gave you the app, I gave you random noun generators, and I gave you video editing ideas to make a what you call it, a music video, right? So boom. Now this guy's name is the Rap Coach on YouTube, and then there's another guy named Cole Mize Studios on YouTube. Cole Mize is spelled COLEMIZE Studios. Now, before we play these videos, you could like, if you a singer, you could use these ideas as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be for hip hop or rap music. You could be a singer and still get ideas from me and those other guys. Matter of fact, that that Voloco app, there's a whole bunch of singers in there, all types of different music in there. People post their music in there like it's like Soundcloud almost.
Of our rapidemics, rap.
So again, back to not having ideas before a song, there's something called scatting, and that might help. So this video here is about scatting. Now, what I was doing, I did a video called, I titled it 35 Freestyles, right? And what I was doing there, I was trying to get ideas for my next song. So I was just rapping random shit. You understand? I was just talking about a whole bunch of gibberish. And there's something called scatting. Most people don't know. Matter of fact, you could probably find a couple of tracks with Kanye West scatting on YouTube. Just put Kanye West scatting, and you'll see what it is. He usually does it to get a melody for his song, you know, when he starts singing and stuff like that. Or he might just freestyle a whole song and then edit certain parts out the song to make one little 3-minute song or whatever. You could hear this in the song Gold Digger. At the end of the song, it sounds like he was freestyling the whole song, but at the end of the song, you could hear Kanye West say, "Let me hear that back." And of course, they kept it because they put it out to the public, and that's the song that we got. But anyways, let's hear what this guy got to say first.
Fundamentals course by talking about scatting with a purpose. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you guys have heard of scatting or have tried scatting, but if not, scatting is just simply mumbling or saying gibberish over a beat to come up with a flow. Now, we've already talked about how to structure our rap bars, so now what we're going to do is go to the rhythmic side and come up with a cadence that will be able to structure into a rap. Guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you that scat, you probably started scatting the wrong way. You do the da 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 ba da da ba da ba da 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 da, or the ha da 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 or the ba da ba ba da 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 da. And that's cool when you're first starting off, but if you continue to do that, what's going to happen is what?
There's actually a song. It's like a house music song, or even a EDM type of song, but that's all they doing on the whole song. They scatting on the whole song. I forgot the melody, but it's like, damn man, I heard it before. I heard it a couple of times. But anyways, sorry.
The dreaded thing we don't want is creating default rhythms in our head that we always go to. If every time you scat to a beat goes da 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 or da 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 da, after a while it's all gonna sound the same. So we're not gonna do that. We're going to scat with a purpose. And when I say scat with a purpose, we're going to think about the last word or the last phrase of the bar. Now you could do the da 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 or whatever you want to do to come up about as out of the whatever you want to do, but you just want to keep in mind at the end of the bar, you want to think of a phrase or a word. So for example, if I got a beat right here, ball man, boom, ball man. I can't fit all these racks in these ball mains. Did you notice what I did? What I did was I came up with the first scat in my mind and I wrote it down. I didn't go for minutes trying to figure out a scat. I didn't do 100 million different combinations. Why? Because what's going to happen is you're going to say so many different scats, so many patterns, it's going to be hard to pick which one. And that's what a lot of beginner rappers are having trouble with. They want to turn on a beat and record them scatting for the whole song. And then when it's like, man, which one should I pick? It's hard to pick. Come up with something unique, which is usually going to be the first thing off your head. It has the fresh energy, and then get started on that. Because what happens is the combination of that rhythm that you scattered with what you're saying, with your delivery, with the beat is going to make it dope. It's not all about the rhythm. The rhythm, the cadence is important, but the whole picture is what really matters. And that's why when I'm like, oh, that's a line right there. And then we use that as the pattern. I can't fit all these racks in the ball, man. Because once I find that first line, that's going to set the pattern. I ain't got to scat no more. We always, whether we phrasing or scatting, we just want to find that first line, and then we carry on from there. So let's hear it. Yeah. I can't fit all these racks in the ball, man. All this dope got me high, but smoking the octane. Let's try another beat. Let's do this Drake type beat. And remember, I'm thinking of what's gonna be that last word, that last phrase. It doesn't even have to be a word. It doesn't even have to make sense. As long as it sounds similar to something that I can turn into a word, then that's all we going for. It don't gotta be a word. And I need guidance. I'm an island. Mama, I need guidance. Mama help me, baby. I need guidance. And y'all know I could write the what's the name. But let's do another example. Mama help me, baby. I need guidance. Feel like the devil in the lions. All right. You think you. Round London, town London, turn the man on it, yeah. He just sounded like a bell luncheon, round luncheon, now luncheon, yeah. We keep on, now luncheon, out luncheon, malfunction, and then malfunction. We keep it going with no malfunction. Think of the end, and that will help you. We can do one more.
Let me tell you about a voice.
In the distance, and then running out another door, and demo, and that door, that live more. My girl tell me I should live more. We not scatting for 2 hours. We not scatting for 4 minutes and trying to pick out one scat, because what happens is you gonna just waste time. That first one that come to mind, that'll be a good one, man. The delivery and the voice and the beat and the lyrics is all in combination what's gonna make that rhythm sound dope. You can't just you can't just have a good rhythm if the delivery is whack and if the bar is whack. You know what I'm saying? If the beat is whack, then you can have the crazy. You can have the crazy, but if that shit ain't working in other areas, it's not gonna hit. I hope this video was of value. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
So the next video we got is supposed to be how to count bars. Oh shit. It's supposed to be how to count bars. Hold on.
Consider this your first.
But you know what? I'm gonna just make it real easy for you.
About musical time.
The way you count bars, you gotta count the snares, right? So, you know when a beat goes, right? The first bass, that's the first count. It's supposed to be 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's how you count the bars. Now, let's say you're making a song with a professional rapper and he tells you, hey, I need 16 bars on this song. Can you do it? You're gonna count 16 bars. Sometimes the beat won't change. It's just the same rhythm throughout the whole entire beat. So you can't tell where to put your rhyme. So that's where counting bars is gonna come. Right? Now once you count the first bar with 4 snaps or 4 counts, all you gotta do is count up to right up to 16 after that. And that's it. Your whole entire song is written down already. If you're gonna freestyle, that's a different story, but that's how you count it. Right? And then the next thing is
Focus on writing lyrics.
the next thing is always make sure that your end rhyme is on top of the snare. Right? Make sure your in rhymes are on top of this on top of the first count, at least, maybe the first and second count, and then make sure your end rhyme is at the 4th count, which would be the second snare technically. If not, you could put it, I asked Google this shit one day, but you could put it after the snare or before the snare, but it just has to be quick. You have to say it quickly. And if you say it after the 4th snare, you're gonna have to catch a breath. So it's gonna mess up the next bar, basically. So you gotta leave a space for you to take a breath. I take a breath like every 4 bars maybe. Or sometimes every 2 or 3 bars. That's when I take a breath. Another thing is be vague on purpose. Be extra vague on purpose. Not only be vague on purpose. If you don't know what vague means, it means like say less words, basically. As less words as you can say, but the trick is be very descriptive. I think it was Nas that said that shit. The reason Nas got so many rhymes is because he puts every detail on top of other details. You could hear it on the song It Ain't Hard to Tell. He's super descriptive and he's only talking about a couple of things in there. Then the other shit is what's the other thing? Oh, whenever you make a metaphor, always put the metaphor on the 4th bar. Right? It's supposed to be 16 bars. So that means if you're gonna use metaphors, rarely, at least put them on the 4th bar. Me, personally, I use metaphors wherever the hell I want. I'll use 4 metaphors for 4 bars straight. I'll just use straight metaphors. I did a song and I put like 4 metaphors on top of each other. I was like, that's like this and that's like that, like this and like that. But anyways, I got that information about putting the metaphor on the 4th bar from Lloyd Banks. He said it in an interview, if I'm not mistaken. The Joe Budden's podcast, I think it was. Then the other thing is, what's the other thing? Oh, I got this information from Irv Gotti when on Drink Champs, when he was talking about DMX's rhyme pattern, and he said DMX would start the rhyme with the rhyming word, and let's say it's 1 bar, right? So he said, matter of fact, "Get at me, dog." He said it in that. I mean, he started that song with a rhyme at the first count of 1 bar, and then he finished the 1 bar with the end rhyme as well on the 4th count. So he said, "What must I go through to show you?" That's 1 bar. Shit is real. What must I go through to show you shit is real? And I ain't really never gave a fuck how niggas feel. Rob and I steal. Not cause I want to, cause I have to. And don't make me show you what the Mac do. So he started it. What must I go through to show you shit is real? Right? Most people, they just rhyme at the end of the 1 bar on top of the snare. So like, let's say DMX was just like not doing that. He would have said, hold on. He said, "What must I go through to show you shit is real?" He might have just said, "What must I," hold on. He could have said, "What must I experience? What must I go through to show you?" He said he could have said, "What must I experience to show you shit is real?" See, it don't sound as good as the way he said it. He said, "What must I go through to show you?" That's the 2 rhymes right there. Shit is real. And then he started it over, and I ain't really never gave a fuck how niggas feel. The end rhyme, real and feel. That's what he rhymed at the end. Anyway. So, now that you got all of that down pat, hold on, I'm trying to find this 15-minute video that he put out first.
Their artist, it's your boy Coach.
Okay, I think that's the one where he talks about the snare. So I did open it. Hold on. I did open it. Flow on any beat with this technique. See, I wasn't sure which video was it, because I saw it like a year ago, 2 years ago. How many syllables should you put within 1 bar? Yeah, that's another video. We're going to get to it, but I'm going to just explain it quick. Basically, you could put, well, he tells you that 8 to 13 syllables is the core number to put in 1 bar, right? I'm gonna say that again. 18 syllables, excuse me. 8 to 10 to 13 syllables in 1 bar. It'll sound just good enough for it to be considered a good bar in a professional's ear, right? A professional producer, a professional engineer, a professional rapper. From 8 to 13 syllables, that's considered a good amount of syllables in 1 bar, right? Now, if you do a double count, which means you're gonna speed up how many words you're gonna say in 1 bar before you rhyme the last word. Somebody like Bone Thugs, or maybe even Twista, the rapper, they'll put like, or even Eminem, they'll put like 18 syllables or more you know, because they rapping fast, so they putting like multiple syllables on top of one bar before the end rhyme. And then speaking of 16 bars for one verse that I said a little while ago, I forgot to speak about the chorus or the rap hook. They consider it to be 4 bars to 8 bars. 4 to 8 bars of chorus or a hook. A bridge in a song is supposed to be around 4 to 6 bars. The reason why is because it's technically supposed to be short. You know, a bridge is something leading into, like, let's say you stop a verse, you finish your 16 bar verse, a bridge is going to come in for 4 bars, and it'll lead into the chorus, which is 8 bars. And you could hear something similar to that in the song by 50 Cent called 21 Questions featuring Nate Dogg, where he says a bridge, well, actually, he says it starts with the chorus with Nate Dogg, then 50 Cent comes in with the bridge, and then the verse comes after. I think there's 2 verses on that song. Both verses are like 14 to 16 bars. And then the chorus, of course, is like 8 bars with Nate Dogg. And then there's 2 bridges, one at the beginning and one at the end of the song. And those are like 4 bars. It's not much. And that song, 21 Questions, if I'm not mistaken, is one of 50 Cent's most streamed songs or something like that. Then I think it was Grandmaster Flash who said it. He said, okay, here's the video.
What you're about to learn is...
Here's the video I was looking for, but Grandmaster Flash, he said once you learn the math of a song, the correct math, that's when you can start making hits. Because what happens is the listener is literally getting hypnotized with the number of rhymes, the 16 bars, the 4 to 8 bar choruses and the 16 bar verses. The listener is literally getting hypnotized with the math of the song, right? Then I'm trying to think who else said something similar about the math of a song. But they basically said, I think it was this fucking guy, Cole Mize. Man, let's just play his video. But I think it was him who said that the 16 bar thing, because it's like 4 times 4, right? In math, it would be 4 times 4 equals 16, right? So the 4... Hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Look. Well, you can look at anybody's lyrics, as a matter of fact. Oh no, you can't. Some people, the way they put lyrics on some websites is like all bunched in together. But basically, every time you write one bar, every time you write 4 bars, I put a space. Me personally, I put a space to count it, right? To know that I got 16 bars. Most people, like Rakim, he would just write 1 through 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down the white sheet of paper before we had phones. I guess he does it on his new phone today, but but back then there was no cell phones in existence yet. But he said he would write on the white sheet of paper or whatever with the lines 1 to 16, and then he would rhyme the last word of every sentence. That's how he claimed, that's what he said. It's not that he claimed. That's how he would make his songs in the beginning. Of course, he got smarter and evolved, and we don't know what the hell he's doing today. But me, personally, I skip. After 4 bars, I put a space to count the next 4 bars. Now, the reason that's important is because that's where you're going to switch up your rhymes, right? Like somebody like Lil Wayne, they'll just rhyme the same pattern throughout the whole song. So like, let's say Lil Wayne is rhyming the word attack, right? So every single word that rhymes with attack, he's doing it throughout the whole song, because he's not technically writing, he's freestyling. That's why he could do it, right? But if you're just a beginner, then you want to test yourself, so you want to switch up every time you rhyme the last word in 4 bars. So like, let's say you rhyming again, let's say if you're rhyming the word attack for 4 bars, then you switch it up on the next 4 bars, which would be attack, attack, attack for 4 times, right? Then after that, you rhyme a different word, whatever, right? Let's say you're gonna rhyme whatever for the next 4 rhymes, right? The other thing, the way I haven't done it in like I haven't done it for a while, but what I would do is, let's say I'm talking about whatever subject, and then I'm rhyming for the last word in a bar, I'm rhyming attack again, right? So let's say I said I'm going on the attack, right? Boom. So after I finish rhyming on the 4th bar with the word attack, I'll jump into the next section with rhyming the word going. Now I'm going to attack, right? And so now I'm gonna rhyme the word going in the next 4 bars. So it'll sound something like, I'm going to attack, right? Let's just say that 4 times. I'm going to attack, I'm going to attack, I'm going to attack, and I'm going to attack. Then I'm gonna say in the next 4 bars, I'm gonna say, I'm fly like a Boeing airplane, right? And then I'll rhyme the word Boeing. Oh, look at this archer. He's like a Boeing. I don't know. Watch me start flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So it'll be like, I'm going to attack when I come back. Watch me come through with the motherfucking Mac. I'm going to attack. Oh shit, I'm fly like a Boeing. I'm come through and I be knowing. Watch me start flowing, cause I don't be noticing. Anyway.
It's not only going to demystify how rapping really works, but it's also going to reveal the most important skills that you need to be focusing on developing right now to make your raps truly impressive. My name is Cole Mize, and I've been helping rappers perfect their rap skills on this channel for the past 9 years. Now, let's get straight to it. When most people begin rapping, they tend to focus on writing lyrics first, because when they listen to their favorite rap songs, the rapper's lyrics is typically what resonates and connects with them the most. They understand language and rhymes.
Oh, you know what? This guy taught me that, let's say you write out a rhyme without a beat, right? Let's say you're on a train or something, or you're at a party and you just want to write a couple of rhymes. When you're gonna put it on top of the beat, it might not match the beat, right? You might be saying too many words or too little words. So you might have to add some words, or you might have to delete some words, right? Because it's not fitting onto the beat. And I think that's what Blueface is. The mistake he be doing is he's saying too many words on top of each other, or maybe he's doing it on purpose. I don't know. But when he first came out, people were complaining that he was off beat.
And so when they're trying to learn how to rap, they tend to focus on writing lyrics first. Then they try to rap those lyrics over an instrumental, and then they suddenly realize those lyrics don't sound so good for some reason. And this is because they've only been focusing on developing half of their rap skills. You see, you can think of rap as an acronym, RAP, rhythm and poetry. And it's the rhythm that's the musical side of rapping that drives the lyrics and makes the lyrics sound so awesome over an instrumental. So as you continue writing lyrics, you need to put a significant amount of focus into the musical side of rapping, which we're about to get into right now. First, let's define
another thing that I learned from Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Snoop Dogg, if you really pay attention, he stretches out his words when he's rhyming the last word or whatever. So like he said, sipping on gin and juice. Like he could have just said it like regular, like sipping on gin and juice, but he stretches out the juice. Sipping on gin and juice, laid back, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. It's almost like he's singing, right? Me personally, I don't do all that shit because I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be direct in my music anyways. But a lot of rappers stretch out those words on purpose to give the song rhythm so that when they play it in the club, somebody could dance, you know what I'm saying, with that shit. You know, learn from the professionals. They got millions for a reason. no matter whatever. Let me shut up.
Few very important words that you need to understand as a rapper. The first one is bar. A bar is a musical measurement of distance. Just like in the physical world, we use miles or kilometers to measure distance. And by using bars as a measurement, it makes it easier to communicate the length of something musical. For an example, instead of me saying, hey, I need you to write a verse for me that's 1 minute and 13 seconds, I can say, hey, I need you to write me a 16-bar verse. And just like a mile or a kilometer in the real world, a bar is typically always the same length. However, what does change is the speed that we travel across these bars. If you drive a mile on a lawnmower, the distance will feel so much longer compared to you using a sports car, and this is due to the difference in speed known as miles per hour or kilometers per hour. And in music, this is called tempo or BPM, which stands for beats per minute. And a beat is a quarter of a bar. So just like in the real world, we can divide a mile or a kilometer into 4 even pieces known as quarters. We also divide bars into quarters known as beats. So there's 4 beats per bar, and typically the kick drum lands on the first and third beat, and the snare drum typically lands on the second and fourth beat. So when you hear someone use the term rapping on beat, it means landing words or syllables on top of these beats. But we don't always rap on top of every single beat. And we don't only place words on these beats. We also place words.
So this is what I was trying to talk about earlier, right? So usually, hold on, let me get a marker up in here so I can mark this shit down. So you're gonna start talking, right? Like right here. That's where you're gonna start talking, right? Your rhyme is gonna be over here, right? And then you're gonna take a breath like right here, where it's gonna start over. Now he's gonna play it, right? And you're gonna hear it. Now sometimes you could stop this, right? And you could take a breath right here and then rhyme these 3, right? You could do that too. Matter of fact, on my most recent song, I was rhyming right here and right here, and I wasn't even talking here or here. I was just saying one word in 2 and 4. So if you hear the song, you see what I'm talking about. I said swim with sharks, right here on 2, I said swim with sharks. Scuba on 4, I said scuba. Swim with sharks on 2, and then scuba. The way it should have sounded is, I be swimming with sharks like a scuba. I swim with sharks like scuba. That's what it should have sounded like. So like the word like is gonna go right here, and then I swim with, or I right here on 1, and then swim with on 2, and like scuba on 4, like on 3, and scuba on 4. Right? That's how it's supposed to sound. I swim with sharks, scuba, like scuba. I swim with sharks like scuba. But instead I said, swim with sharks, scuba. He says it later, well, I think he says it at the end of each and every one of his videos, but he says, remember, there's no rules technically. He's gonna encourage you to say whatever the fuck you want on a song and just be comfortable with it. He's gonna say some shit like that. And as a matter of fact, I played a song, well, I got it saved on my Voloco account, of some girl there. She's like singing and rapping, and she's not even rhyming. She's just talking shit on the song, and it still sounds good. You know what I'm saying? But she's on beat with it. And you know who else used to do that shit? Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Yo, if you go listen to Quiet Storm, he's barely rhyming, and you don't even notice it because the song is so hot. I promise you, next time you listen to Quiet Storm by Mobb Deep and Lil' Kim, you're gonna notice the third verse, he's not even rhyming. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
In between these beats. But how can you know where they should be placed in between the beats? You can think of there being beats within beats, or as I like to call them, sub beats. You see, making something musical is all about using division, and every single syllable you ever will rap will be some type of rhythmic music note. And there's different types of rhythmic music notes which get their names based off of their division of a bar. For example, if I were to fill in each beat with one note, these would be called quarter notes because they each take up 1/4 of a bar. And practicing filling in these quarter notes is a great place to start developing your rhythm as a rapper. And this exercise is known as the 4 count. Now let's try to do these together real quick. Just say the number of each beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll fill in 1 bar and then you'll fill in 1 bar after me. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's divide each quarter into halves. Now we have 2 notes per beat, which means there's now a note in between each beat. You can think of this as being a half beat. And this is one of those places you could put a syllable in between beats and it would sound great. As you can see, my bar is now divided into 8 even sections, which are why these rhythmic music notes are called 8th notes. Now let's try to do these together real quick by saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is known as the 8 count. I'll fill in 1 bar with 8th notes and then you fill in 1 bar after me with 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
See, that's what I was talking about right there. Rappers that rap fast. Well, no, that's still a regular right there. 8/8. He's gonna get into, I think, what it's called, 16th notes or something like that. Where you just saying like, it sounds something like this. It sounds, matter of fact, you could go listen to Rap God by Eminem. Rap God, you hear it clear there. He's like saying a whole bunch of shit in 1 bar. In 1 bar, he's saying a whole bunch of words there. You just like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Now let's divide each 8th note into halves, which give us 4 rhythmic music notes per beat. This gives you 3 more places to put your syllables in between each beat, and it will sound great. As you can see, my bar is now divided into 16 even sections, which are why these rhythmic music notes are called 16th notes. These are some of the most common rhythmic music notes that rappers use. And since we can fit 4 16th notes within each beat, you can think of there being 4 beats within each beat, which I like to call sub beats. Now let's try to do these together really quick by saying 1 you better, 2 you better, 3 you better, 4 you better. This is known as the 16th count. Now I'm going to fill in 1 bar with 16th notes, and then you fill in the bar after me with 16th notes. Let's get it. 1 you better, 2 you better, 3 you better, 4 you better. 1 you better, 2 you better, 3 you better, 4 you better. Now when you're learning to rap, learning the 4, 8, and 16th count is a great place to start. But once you nail these down, it's time to advance to learning something known as cadences. A cadence is the use of a combination of different rhythmic music notes and pauses to create interesting musical patterns which drive our lyrics and make them sound awesome. You can think of...
Okay, so what I like to call this is the flow, right? So some rappers flow fast and some rappers flow slow, right? The reason why is because some rappers want to prove how good they are. They want to prove their skills, right? They go study freaking auction what you call those guys? Auction guys, the guys that be talking real fast. They'll go study those guys to see how is it that they can speak so fast with such clear words. But anyways,
these is like the dance moves of a rapper. The more cadences you learn, the more versatile and dynamic your rap flow will be. And the way that rappers audition endless variations of cadences is by something known as scatting. Scatting is when we use random sounds with our mouth to rap cadences that we already know. And by not using real words, we're unrestricted. We are 100% free to just be a musical instrument.
You know what else? You gotta get a good voice, right? So like, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a homeless man that he did like a little video on YouTube or whatever, and it went viral. He was on the news and everything after that. Then I think they gave him a job as a radio host, but when he did the skit on YouTube, everybody went crazy because his voice didn't sound nothing like what he looked like. He was a homeless man, but his voice sounded like a singer almost, like some Frank Sinatra shit. He was like, he switched up his voice like this. He was like, welcome to WTOU. No, welcome to WTOU. Like some shit like that. So like that shit went viral. So if you notice, Michael Jackson, he put his voices, well, I don't know, when he got older he stopped doing that shit, but he would put his voice up in a high pitch. Mariah Carey, high pitch. You know what I'm saying? Most singers, Ariana Grande, high pitch. You know, then you got low pitch singers like Barry White. You know, you got medium pitch singers like, I don't know, like freaking Jay-Z. I don't know. Tupac, well, Tupac was kind of different because he would rap from his stomach, and he said that in interviews before. Like he's talking as if he's angry. You know what I'm saying? You ever been in an argument? You start like, motherfucker. You start talking from your chest, like, I'll fuck you up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you talking about? So that's why his songs came out like that. My ambitions as a rider. That's why it came out like that. Well, other people, oh, you know who else? Ja Rule and DMX. They talk like that, right? Some people just talk from the throat. Pause. Jay-Z, he speaks from the throat. He don't wanna like raise his voice. You know what I'm saying? Cameron, Mace. Anyway, you get the point, hopefully.
Instrument, just like how guitars and drums don't have any real words that go with them either. In this example, the cadence I came up with for bar 1 has a pause for the first half of beat 1, then I fill the rest of this beat in with 2 16th notes. On the second beat, I use an 8th note followed by 2 16th notes, and then I fill beat 3 in with 16th notes and pause on the 4th beat. On the second bar, I fill in beats 1, 2, and 3 with straight 16th notes, and then I pause on the 4th beat. And here's how that sounds. I don't brag some elaboration. Most upon the break it to your back of taking. Now, when we're writing lyrics, we're also typically scatting at the same time to come up with cadences that we could potentially use with our lyrics. And then we'll make any necessary adjustments between the lyrics and also the cadences to make them work perfectly together. This is what I like to refer to as the engineering or problem-solving part of being a rapper. And it's such a big part of what we do behind the scenes. And when you're doing this, you don't always have to use the same sounds that you used in your scat for your lyrics. In this example, I was able to match the cadence perfectly, but I kept very few sounds from my original scat. Let's check out the before and after of how this sounds. I don't brag some elaboration. Most upon the break it to your back of taking. I don't wait, I just get to moving. Working every single day, always improving. And while we're on the topic of lyrics, it's important to structure your lyrics in a way that reflects how they're structured musically. Most beginner rappers will just group all their lyrics together into one giant paragraph. Now, you don't need to have crazy specific graphs like you're seeing me use right now to teach this lesson, but I do recommend treating every line of your lyrics as if it's a bar. This simply means that the first thing that's at the beginning of every line should be what's actually landing on the first beat of that bar. This means that sometimes a multi-syllable word may be split between the ending of one bar and the beginning of another. Also, you won't always be rapping at the beginning of every bar. In these cases, make a notation of B within parentheses to signify that you're taking a break or breath on the first beat. I also like to create a break every 4 bars just to make it easier on the eyes to navigate throughout my lyrics. Also, structuring your lyrics like this makes it easier to remember the timing of your rap flow, and it helps a lot with figuring out solutions to problems that you will naturally encounter while writing your lyrics. One more added benefit is this will also help you keep track of where you're placing your rhymes.
Yeah, I did a song called oh my god, I forgot the name of it. Shit. Anyway, I was just using words, like I wasn't making a sentence. You see how I'm talking? This is called a sentence, right? I'm explaining something, so I'm writing a sentence. Now, what if I just was like pontificate, explanation. Hold on, I'm trying to find another word for writing. Pontificating, explanation. Like I was just talking like that in the song. Instead of saying, listen to me, write a sentence.
Speaking of rhymes, there's 2 main types of rhymes in rap. That's internal rhymes and rhyme schemes. A rhyme scheme is when you rhyme relatively in the same place for at least 2 bars. And an internal rhyme is when you rhyme within a bar, but it doesn't carry over to another bar. Now, the key to making your rap sound ultra catchy is all about creating patterns. Patterns add uniformity and predictability to what you're doing so the listener can make sense of it and follow along to it. And without there being strong patterns, your raps will sound random and chaotic. And in rap, we typically create 3 layers of patterns that make our rap sound ultra catchy. And the first pattern is our cadence patterns. Notice how on my previous 2-bar cadence that I paused on the 4th beat of each bar. I also filled in half of beat 2 and all of beat 3 with 16th notes. This is what gave these bars a solid pattern. But on bar 1, beat 1, I paused for half a beat And on bar 2, I filled it in with 16th notes. On beat 2 of bar 1, I used an 8th note, and on bar 2, I used 2 16th notes. So while there are parts of my bars that are exactly the same, there's also parts that are slightly different. So when you're creating patterns with your cadences, the whole bar doesn't have to be exactly the same for it to still feel like a repeating cadence pattern. Now let's listen back and focus just on that. I don't wait, I just get to moving. Working every single day, always improving. And the second pattern that we create is our rhyme scheme pattern. Notice how I'm rhyming on the second half of beat 3 on both bars with moving and proving. And I also have a more subtle rhyme scheme pattern happening on beat 2 of bar 1 with wait, and on beat 2 of bar 2 with day, and on beat 3 with ways. This rhyme scheme isn't as noticeable because these are neighboring rhymes, which means they don't land on the same exact spot, and there are also different lengths. Wait is an 8th note, and day and ways are 16th notes. You must be mindful of where you're placing your rhymes on each bar to ensure you're creating strong rhyme scheme patterns for the listener to follow along to, while you're also giving yourself the flexibility to move rhymes around a bit to give them dynamics, just like I did with my cadence. Now keep all of that in mind, and let's listen back and focus on that. I don't wait, I just get to moving. Working every single day, always improving. And the third pattern that we create with our raps are delivery patterns. And by delivery, I mean the tone and the emotions that you're rapping your lyrics with. Delivery is the acting part of being a rapper. Notice on my 2 bars how I have a really relaxing sounding tone overall, but I go up in tone on my end rhymes of each bar on the words moving and proving. End rhymes just mean it's the rhyme scheme we've created, which typically lands on the end of the bar. This is typically the first rhyme scheme that we established, and then if we wish to push things further, we'll create more internal rhymes and rhyme schemes around it. And rhymes are a great place to add a little bit more energy to your vocals because
Yeah, I did a couple of songs that are on top of copyrighted beats. That's why you probably never heard them, but you can find them on my Bitchute account. But I was just rhyming every word, right? So like for 4 bars straight, I'm just rhyming every word. So typically it would be like 4 words in 1 bar, basically. The last word is gonna rhyme all the time. The first word is gonna rhyme, the second word is gonna rhyme, the third word is gonna rhyme, the fourth word is gonna rhyme, all the way for 4 bars.
it causes your rhymes to really shine and pop out a bit from the rest of your lyrics, giving it like a 3D type of effect. Now let's listen back and just focus on that. I don't wait, I just get to moving. Working every single day, always improving. And when you're creating a scheme out of your patterns, meaning that your patterns repeat for at least another bar, try to keep these patterns going for an even number of bars, because if it's an odd number, such as 3, 5, or 7, it's likely going to feel incomplete and less satisfying. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into each topic that I covered today, check the video description below to links to my free rap course here on YouTube called 5 Minutes to a Better Rap Flow, my 3-part series called The Science Behind Rhyming, and my videos on how to quickly structure your rap lyrics and also how to find your rap voice. Again, my name is Cole Mize with ColeMizeStudios.com, where I strive to make you a better rapper now. And before you go, make sure you grab your free bundle of goodies, which includes my ebook, The #1 Fundamental to Rapping, bar sheet.
Rapping is not that hard, man. You know, if you could rap without the beat, you could probably rap on top of the beat. The problem is you don't know where to put the words. That's the problem. And it's no different than a puzzle, right? You gotta fit it's like Tetris, the video game Tetris. You gotta fit every piece where it belongs, right? Or like a puzzle, you gotta fit every piece where it belongs to make your picture, right? So you gotta fit every word on top of the beats that are being played by, if it was made by a computer, or if the beat was made by a band, you know, a whole orchestra. You have to put your words with the rhythm of their beat. You get what I'm saying? If not, you're just gonna be, it's not gonna sound good. But that's what these next two videos are about. This guy is gonna talk about rapping on top of the snares, which is what I was trying to speak about earlier, because I got the information from him. But I watched these videos a while ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, when I didn't first start rapping 2 or 3 years ago. I've been rapping. The problem was my problem was the technology wasn't as evolved back then for me to be able to put it on top of the beat, right? I could have took a beat and rapped to it from a radio or whatever, from a CD player or whatever, but me recording it itself, that was the problem. Because sometimes with these programs of studio programs, you gotta move, because it's catching your voice late, right? I guess that's the best way to explain it. The beat and your device, right? Your phone or whatever, anything, your microphone, the voice is being caught late by the entire machine, right? The device. So sometimes in the computer programs or inside of the app, you gotta move your voice to the side a little bit. You gotta move it back a little bit so that it could land on top of the beat the way you was thinking it, the way you was when you was writing the song, and you was catching the beat in your brain, and now it's time for you to record, but the equipment is not catching your voice correctly. So you gotta like fix it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do shit like that. Rappers like Soulja Boy, or even a lot of these freestyle rappers like Juice WRLD, I know he passed away, but they would do something called punching in, and they not writing at all. They just in the studio with a microphone, the DJ or the engineer or the producer is playing the beat. So then they'll say some words, right? Like whatever, like, oh, I'm Soulja Boy, you know, gang, gang, gang. That's the rhyming word right there, gang, gang. And then he'll tell the producer, all right, stop. I want to see what I'm going to say next. Let me hear it back. Let's say he said like 4 bars or 8 bars. He wants to hear what he just said to rhyme the next 4 bars or whatever. So then he'll be listening to it, and he said, all right, I'm going to rhyme right here. And then, you know, he'll add in whatever the fuck he's going to say. That's called punching in. Me, I do it the way it used to be. You just rhyme throughout the whole beat without stopping, you know, so that you could get the emotion, it won't sound so mechanical, I guess you could say. It won't sound like a robot, no pun intended. It won't sound like a robot. It'll sound like a human speaking. You could hear the breaths, you know, the human taking breaths in the song. Today, the newer rappers, they delete that part. They delete the breath. You know, when they take a breath, they delete that part. So you don't even hear it no more in a lot of songs. Like those real polished songs, you know, like they want it to sound real clear and perfect for Billboard or for the music video or whatever. They take all that shit out. Me, I take it out when I think I did it too much. Like you could hear it too much and it's starting to sound annoying on top of the song. Like it's just like it gets annoying. So you gotta like delete that shit, or at least delete a couple of them before you put it out to the public. Some rappers respect that you take a breath though, because they want to make sure that you're not cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like punching in and shit like that. So like, I guess a rapper like Nas might respect it if you leave the breaths in, or even Rakim, they'll respect it if you leave the breaths in. But pause, by the way, pause. But if you want to sell this music to the public and go on Billboard and clubs and all that shit, some people take it out of their music.
Going on out there, artists? It's your boy Coach, back with another video, and today I want to teach you all how to pick a flow and rap on any beat you come across. The number one thing I need from you guys is to be able to identify where and what the snare is. Once you figure that out, then you can master any beat. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So I've picked a random NBA YoungBoy beat that I've never heard before, I've never rapped on before, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly how I come up with a flow to any beat. Now, every rap bar, every rap line has 4 beats within it. The second and 4 beat, the back beats, are the snares. That's where you're going to find that sweet spot for our flow. As long as we can identify the first one on the 2 and the second one on the 4, we good, all right? If you guys don't know what that snare is, it's that drum in the beat that makes this noise. So let me play this beat. 2, that's the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start rapping anywhere. Wherever I feel the rhythm, wherever I feel the beat, I'm gonna just start rapping, and I'm gonna stop the moment I get to a snare. Alright? Yeah. Hey. Hey. Riding in my city. And I stop. That's it. Right? Riding in my city. But that's not enough. In my city. I have to rap until I get to the next one, okay? Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't care. Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't care. See, that was the last snare. Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't know. Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't care. And that's all you need. Why? Because once you come up with the first line, that's your pattern. That's your flow. Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't care. Got a chopper in the trunk, and I use it like a spell. And I put me in the trunk, and I use it like a spell. I'ma hit a nigga. I'ma put it, bullets all in this. Bullets all in this.
So I actually learned this recently, like a week ago, or like 2 weeks ago. But there's something called music theory. So, example, you hear the beat playing right now that he's playing on screen, right? It sounds like a club beat, right? It sounds like maybe like a chill out beat, like a barbecue type of beat to play at a barbecue, you know. Then some beats sound like real dark, real gloomy. Those are like emotional beats, or where you're gonna rap about a hard time or whatever. Then you got like up tempo beats where you already know it's for the clubs and the arenas and the stadiums. You could tell it's like a jumper, you know, it's like a slapper. It's like some hot shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like Jay-Z's freaking New York, I'm from where the big dreams are made of, with Alicia Keys, right? You could tell that beat is like for the stadiums and the arenas, and that's what music theory is. You have to, when you first hear a beat, you have to identify what kind of beat it is, so that you can make your song. You know what I'm saying? So whatever emotion you feeling, like you just like, oh, I want to make a fucking song about this bitch I just broke up with. You know what I'm saying? So you need some hard shit, right? You want to just snap on her, not physically, but like make fun of her. It's a slang term over here in New York, but you want to crack jokes on her or something in the song. So you need an up-tempo beat so that you could get that emotion out. Or if you broke up with her and she broke your heart and you feeling sad, well then you need a slower beat. You know, you need a more R&B type of beat, like a rhythm and blues type of beat. Let's say you want to do like a lounge type of song, or some real hip-hop backpacker shit. Well then you're gonna choose a beat that sounds like some chill out shit. You know what I'm saying? Some cool out, like some Wiz Khalifa California beat. You know, that's the name of his song, California. But that's basically music theory. I think it's Pharrell, right? Pharrell said he see, what was it? He could see sounds or some shit like that, or he feels sounds. I don't know. Whatever.
Way I'm doing all this dirt, I should probably get the chair. All right, here we go. Coming up with that concept gave me this flow. Yeah. Riding in my city, I'm illegal, I don't care. Got a chopper in the trunk, I'ma use it like a spell. I'ma hit a nigga first, bullets all in his hair. When I'm doing all this dirt, I should probably get the chair. Yeah, I'm just rapping to the motherfucking snare. All you really gotta do is just rapping to the snare. If you wanna get some more, check out my Patreon. Ayy, like the video, and subscribe. Let me know what you wanna see next. I'ma bring more videos to YouTube, do my best. Ayy, I can't lie, coach, been a little stressed, but I look at y'all comments and I still feel blessed. God bless. Hey, peace.
So that was one of those. Let's see what the other one is about.
On out there, artists, it's your boy Coach, back with another video, and today I want to give you guys a new way of looking at coming up with flows. Before I get into the video, I ask you please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I used to always talk about how there are 4 beats in a bar, and what I mean by that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not only can we use these 4 different beats to figure out a place to start a flow, but we can use these 4 different beats to determine how long we want our bar to be. And what I mean by that is you can rap for half the bar, you can rap for 3/4 of the bar, you can rap for the whole bar. Each one of these different methods will create a different cadence for you. So if you ever wanted to switch your flow, if you ever wanted to change things up mid-verse or go from pre-chorus to chorus, you should think about going from one of these to the other. So what I've got here is an example verse, and in the first one I'm going to rap all the way to the 2nd measure. All right, in the third one I'm gonna rap all the way to the 3rd measure, and then the 4th one I'm gonna rap all the way to the 4th measure. Now basically what that means is in the first one, when I'm rapping all the way to the 2nd measure, I'm only going to rap for half of a bar. This is gonna leave a lot of room for ad-libs or whatever you want to do in between those spaces. In the second one, I'm going to be rapping about 75% of the bar, and at the end there will be a little bit more space. But in the 4th one, I'm going to be rapping for the whole bar, and there will be little to no space for ad-libs. So without any further ado, let's do the first one. Rappers thinking shit is sweet, yeah, that's what really make them weak. Shit, I lost it all in weeks. Got me taking all this heat. A lot of space there. That would make for a more catchier flow, maybe something you could use for even a hook. Now here's the next one. It's gonna be a little bit longer. Yeah, yeah. Rappers thinking shit is such a game. Fuck Illuminati cause a nigga say. Lost it all before and look at what it made. I be taking all these L straight to the grave. Yeah. See, there was still space in between that. And I really like this one better because it has the perfect balance of syllables and space. But here's the fourth one. Yeah. Hey. Rappers thinking shit is such a game, it ain't no dominoes. Fuck Illuminati, baby, I already sold my soul. Lost it all before my nigga never lost control. I'm taking all the blows, I get high for all the lows. Now, you see how that one, it was basically me rapping the whole way. Very little amount of space. If you already got a flow, or if you got a cadence and it's not feeling right, maybe think about, I'm gonna rap all the way from the 1 to the 3, or I'm gonna rap all the way from the 2 to the 4. And what that basically does is that creates the foundation for a pattern that you could use for cadence and flow. Becoming a great rapper is not an easy process, but I've cut that time in half for over 400 artists for the past couple years. Through my Patreon Inner Circle, I've been able to get better at rapping. That's crazy. Not only will you have access to this exclusive content daily and get feedback or mentorship.
Yeah, that was the end of the video. He jumped into an advertisement. But as you can see, it's pretty easy to make a song, man. You just need the equipment and the know-how. Let's see what else we got here. I got like 5 more videos left.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cole Mize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I get quite often, and that is, Cole, how many syllables should I be trying to fit within each bar? Now, before I give you a specific number, let me first give you the 3 main reasons why it does not even matter. Reason number 1 is because syllables are not an accurate measurement. What I mean by that is all syllables are not created equal. All syllables are not the same length. Okay, so for an example, if I were to take the word strike, which is 1 syllable, if I were to take the word no, also 1 syllable. Strike, no. Obviously, strike is much longer because it has to be held much longer to emphasize it than the word no. Okay, so all syllables are not the same length. Reason number 2 has to do with tempo. Okay, so in music, what you need to understand is all bars are always the same length, right? Like a mile in the real world is always a mile in length. It never changes its length. The same applies to bars in music, okay? What changes is our miles per hour, okay? So in the real world, what changes is how long does it take you to travel across a mile, which is determined by how fast you're going, right? Your miles per hour. So in music, our miles per hour is called tempo, all right? So based upon the tempo of a track will determine how much time that you're spending within each bar, okay?
Perfect example in my song, my newest song, Disintegrate, right? I said something about a swammy, but if you pay attention, I actually said it too early because I was rushing. All right, I'm telling you behind the scenes shit, right? So I was supposed to land it right on top of the snare, the swammy word, but instead it came like right before the snare, and then it messed me up. I had to say, I was trying to say, music connects us. No, that was in the other part. But that was another part where I messed up. I said music connects us, and I said it too early, I think it was. Or I said it too late. Or I said it too, I don't know. But anyways, that's what he's talking about. Where you have to pace yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to rush your words on top of the beat. Because if you wrote it out the way you was thinking it, you wouldn't have to do that anyways. It would land on top of the beat perfectly, or the way you thought it would sound on top of the beat. It's supposed to land on top of the beat that way. But again, if you wrote too many words, you might have to take out some words, or maybe say the bar differently. You know, change up the whole entire bar and say it differently. You know, with different synonym words or whatever.
Okay, so a slower tempo track, you'll have a lot more time to fit more syllables than you would a tempo that's much faster. So to give you some specific numbers in hip hop, a good mid tempo, so something that's middle, it's not too fast, not too slow, is around 90, 95 beats per minute. That's a good mid tempo. A really fast tempo is, let's say 110, 120. That's kind of getting in the dance range, pop range. And then slower tempos around, let's say 50 or 60 beats per minute is really slow. Okay, so the tempo is going to have a dramatic effect on how much time you have to work within each bar, which also will affect the amount of syllables you could use. And if you haven't already seen my video that I did on tempo, you can click the I up there, or I also put a link in the video description where I'm talking.
The newer rappers, if you listen to old school hip hop from the 80s up to the 90s, it was more fast tempo, right? The newer rappers, they slowed everything down, so a lot of the songs are like slower songs on purpose, because they want to say more. They want to say more words in one bar or whatever. But if you go listen to old music, you'll notice it's more faster.
About tempo. And the third reason why it doesn't matter how many syllables that you have within each bar is because it comes down to the emotion and the feeling of the instrumental, the vibe the instrumental is putting out. So the more dense that you pack your bars, typically the more aggressive it's going to sound. So for an example, if you're rapping over an instrumental that's very melodic and really chill and kind of soft and gentle, you may not want to go super aggressive over that. You may want there to be a little bit more space within your bars, okay? You see, the amount of syllables that you're actually putting in your bars is only one of the ways that we as rappers feel in bars. You see, there's actually
and you got to be careful, because the rapper Lil Yachty, Drake's friend, when he well, actually it was around pandemic time, he dropped a song and he was like rapping really slow, and his fans started dissing him for doing that. Like, they were expecting him to rap faster.
3 ways that us rappers feel in every single bar. The first one is going to be density. Okay, obviously we've been talking about this already. The more syllables that you cram into a bar, the more it's going to be filled up. And the second way that we feel in every single bar is by sustain. What I mean by sustain is how long each syllable is held, right? And I've already alluded to this earlier as far as how come all syllables are not equal. They have different lengths based on how long you need to hold them to actually say them clearly. But also in music, that's not the only factor.
Again, example, Snoop Dogg, 187 song, deep cover song, he said, 187 on the undercover cop. So like he stretched out the cop word. He stretched it out. 187 on the undercover cop. That's what he's talking about.
May choose just to hold a note just for effect, just to drag something out and make it sound cool or something like that. So in music, we have these things called music notes. So every single syllable you'll ever rap is technically a music note. And each music note gets its name by how long it's held. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out my video called Music Notes Explained, where I go in deeper about this. And if you also want to practice getting familiar with different music notes, I also go over all that in my free rap course I have here on my YouTube channel called 5 Minutes to a Better Rap Flow. And the third way that we fill in each bar is based on space, pauses. And that may not be as obvious to some of you, but we fill in, we occupy room in our bars with space as well. Sometimes we need to take a pause for the calls. Sometimes we just need to add a little bit of pause in what we're saying to give the listener time to reflect on what we just said or what we're about to say, or also to give it more of a live element to make it feel like.
I was watching Doggy Diamonds yesterday, and the title of his video is Name the Wackest Rappers. So he had people calling in and naming the wackest rappers, but that's not what I'm talking about. What one of the callers said, he doesn't like when rappers talk too much on a song. So like basically he was trying to say that somebody like Eminem or Twista, who they say a lot in one song, they say a whole bunch of stuff, that he didn't like that shit because he couldn't even understand them. And then if you listen to critics of reggaeton music, which is Hispanic dancehall music, I guess you could say, they say they speak too fast as well.
We're thinking about.
So the point is, I'm sorry, I forgot to say the point. The point is, you wanna grab the attention of the listener. So you want to say enough so that it's comfortable, but you don't want to say too much where it gets uncomfortable. You know, you don't want to say too many words because they might not even hear every word that you say. You know, they're in the club drinking, they driving, listening to your song, and you just saying a whole bunch of words, and they there trying to drive their car, drink their liquor. They like, what the fuck? Yo, man, this guy's talking too much.
What we're about to say next. Spaces are very important. You know, if you think about like the ocean, for an example, the ocean, you have the water that comes in and then it retracts, it comes back, and that's the breath of life, if you will. You know, when you're rapping, you're going to be taking pauses, you're going to be breathing, and not only that, you need to give your verses room to breathe at times, especially if it calls for more of a live feel or more intimate feel. It may not need to be as aggressive. Okay, so pause.
Plus, your body needs to breathe as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's matter of fact, it's called breath control. That's what they call it, breath control.
Pausing is another way that we fill in every single bar. Now that I've explained all of that, if you're still wanting a general number to shoot for your bars, a good general number to shoot for is between 10 syllables and 13 syllables. Now, that will kind of put you in that nice little medium. It's not too dense, but it's not overly dense to where it's like no space left.
And if you don't know what a syllable is, let's take the word Mississippi, right? So you count Miss, Si, B. It's four syllables, Mississippi. The word syllable itself is syllable. It's three syllables in the word syllable. So that's what he's talking about. So it don't matter what you say, just make sure it's within the range of 10 to 13 syllables in one bar, and make sure your last word is rhyming with the next bar. That's what he's trying to explain.
So 10 to 13 syllables is usually a good, just generic place to shoot for. Again, your mileage may vary based on the tempo of your track, but that'll put you in the right general space that you need to be in, most likely. Now to recap real quick, the three main reasons why it does not matter how many syllables that you fit in each bar is: one, not all syllables are created equal. They're not all the same length. Two, the tempo of the instrumental that you're rapping over is going to determine how much time, how much space that you have within each bar. But remember, all bars are always a mile, right? They're always the same length. What changes is how fast are you traveling across it. What's the tempo of the track? And number
you know what? Drill rappers, they be cheating. They put extra words. They'll put the rhyming word after the snare. They do it on purpose. You get what I'm saying? Or even they'll put it before the snare as well. They'll rap their whatever they rapping, and then they'll put the rhyming word right before the snare or right after the snare on purpose, instead of putting it on top of the snare where it should go. They like, I don't know.
3, the emotion of the instrumental may dictate how dense that you want to pack your bars out, because the more dense that you fill in your bars, the more aggressive it's going to most likely feel. And the more space that you leave in your bars, the more chill or maybe relaxed that it's going to feel. And the 3 ways that we fill in each bar is 1, density, how many syllables, right? Volume, the amount of syllables that we use per bar. Number 2, sustain, how long each syllable is held. And number 3, space, vacancy, pausing, breaths. My name is Cole Mize or ColeMizeStudios.com, and it is my mission, my main goal, to help you be a better rapper now. And if you're new to my channel, I have a gift that I would love to hook you up with that's going to help you get a jump start on improving and growing your rap skills. And it's an ebook that I wrote called The #1 Fundamental to Rapping. It's a really easy read. It's going to give you a really good perspective and
Yeah, we're gonna get out of there. Let's see what the next video is. How to rap structuring your lyrics.
structured lyrics. In this video, I'm going to explain what structured lyrics are, why they're important, and how you can ensure that your lyrics are structured from here on out. And of course, I'm going to give you some live examples right here in the studio. So without further ado, let's get it! What's up, everybody? This is Cole Mize of ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. So let's start off with what the word structure actually means in the first place. Structure means coherent form of organization. Let's also take a gander at the word coherent, which means logical and well organized, easy to understand, able to talk or express yourself in a clear way that can be easily understood, working closely well together.
You know what? Now that he's saying that, he might be saying it in this video. I don't remember, but pronounce words correctly in your music, right? Because if you mispronounce words, like, you know what? I think it was Remy Martin who mispronounced a word. She said facade. It's supposed to be facade, but she pronounced it as facade. Or facade, something like that. I think she said facade, and then some people mispronounce the word advertisement. They'll say advertisements. They'll say advertisements instead of advertisements. So, and pronounce the whole, like you see how a lot of people say the word bruh, right? Or bro. It's actually brother, right? But to shorten it, you'll say bro or bruh. That's basically the concept of what I'm talking about. I mean, if you're gonna use bro or bruh in a song, then that's different. But I'm just talking about pronouncing words correctly, because and pronounce the whole word as well sometimes, because the listener might misinterpret what you're talking about if you say the wrong word, right? I hope that makes sense. I don't know.
Together. And also, let's take a look at the word organization, the act or process of putting different parts of something in a certain order so they can be found or used easily. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, hopefully you can see why having structured lyrics is so important for the following reasons. 1, your lyrics are well organized. 2, your lyrics work closely and well together. 3, your lyrics have patterns so other people can follow along easily. And 4, so you can rap your lyrics consistently, repetitively, the same way over and over again. Now here's a few indications that will identify when lyrics are most likely unstructured. 1, lack of rhythmic pattern. 2, lack of rhyme scheme pattern. 3, bars don't start or end evenly or have any structured format of length and musical time. 4, the inability to...
You know what's another thing you could do? Some words like the word space and spice, sound almost the same, right? So you could rhyme those two words if you twist it. If you twist the word enough, you could rhyme space and spice. So like example, I could be like, yo, I found, no, you could say, yo, I found aliens in space. They gave me weed that was like spice. You see how I emphasized on the letter I in spice, and I almost turned it into an A slightly. So instead of spice, I said spice. Right? I don't know if that's coming through clearly on your side of the screen, but like Kendrick Lamar does it a lot. He twists a lot of words that don't actually rhyme, but the way cause he's from California, his accent is how to explain it? They got like that California accent. I don't know how to explain it, but like he's able to do it easily, and you won't even notice it. That's why he's considered one of the best, right? One of the big three with Drake and J. Cole.
Rap verses the same way repetitively. And 5, certain parts of the lyrics are being crammed in together and lose their clarity. Now that we've established what structured lyrics are and what they are not, let's dive into FL Studio, and I'm going to begin to show you how you can start structuring your lyrics. I'll be right back. Now, in order to have structured lyrics, you must first establish your 4 count, which is to say 1, 2, 3, 4 to the tempo of the beat. Okay, so I'm just going to play this beat real quick and do that. Alright, here we go. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this beat that you're hearing is actually like a 2-bar loop, so I just did 2 bars just then. And remember that the kick drum typically falls on the first quarter note and the third quarter note, and then the snare drum typically falls on the second quarter note and the fourth quarter note. Now, on this beat that I'm playing is a little bit different, and that's why I wanted to use this as a teaching tool to show you this. The kick drum actually falls on the first beat, but the kick drum actually falls in between the third beat. So with the kick drum, if you listen, it actually hits right before the third beat and right after. So there's like a gap in between it. So let me play that for you. Listen for it. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Hear that? 1, 2, boom, 3, 4. 1, 2, boom, 3, 4. Now, one thing that I recommend if you're having problems saying your 4 count to the tempo, instead of just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, try saying 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 milli. And the reason I say this is because if you say that, it's going to fill up the gap within each quarter note section. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so these are your quarter note sections here, okay? These different colors represent different quarter note sections. All right, and I'm just going to do this for the whole 2 bars. All right, so you see these gaps in between, these additional bars here. These are actually other notes. These are 16th notes that are within that quarter note section. So within each quarter note section, there is 4 16th notes that make up that quarter note section. So when you say 1 milli, for an example, on the first quarter note section, 1 is being sustained for these 2 16th notes. And then when you say milli, which is 2 syllables, is filling up the remaining 2 16th notes of that quarter note section, and so on and so forth. Let me do that for you real quick so you can hear what I'm talking about. 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 milli, 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 milli. Now that we've established the 4 count, it's just as important to maintain the 4 count. And here's several ways that you can achieve this. Try moving a body part to the 4 count, such as bobbing your head like 1, 2, 3, 4. You could try tapping your foot to the 4 count. You could try maybe slapping your hand against.
You know what? If you watch the 50 Cent music video In the Club, when he got his back turned, he got on the tank top with the red and white stripes, right? And his hat is to the back, and he's moving his left hand to the beat, right? So it's like dun dun go 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 you can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. So club and bub, his finger is going down, right? Because he's catching the beat by doing that. You understand? You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Baby, I got that X if you in it making love. So come give me a hug if you in the getting rubbed. When I pull up out front, you see when I said front, my fingers down. When I pull up on front, you see the bands on dubs. Right?
It's a hard surface. You know, on a table, on your chest, shoot, on your head, whatever works for you. And this technique uses your muscle memory, which is kind of like a human metronome. What is a metronome? A metronome is a device used by musicians that marks time at a selected rate by giving a regular ticking sound. For an example, in this beat, let me just hit the metronome on solo so you can hear it. And it's going to give you a quarter note tick. It's the 4 count, which is what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, many musicians use this technique to maintain their 4 count by moving their body in some type of way. So the next time that you're watching a live musician perform, pay attention to their movement. See if you can notice any type of subtleties in their body language or tapping their feet or whatnot, and see what their method is of maintaining that 4 count. Now, another method of maintaining your 4 count is using your own internal memory to say the 4 count in your head, which still manages to free up your vocals so you can rap and perform. Now, this technique is harder for most people to do because it requires you to think about 2 things.
I was technically, well, excuse me, I'm not a dancer, but I used to dance to all these rap songs, right, from back in the days. So now that I'm rapping, I dance with the beat, right, and then I'm rapping as well. So like instead of doing what he's saying, counting, tapping your foot or whatever he just said, I literally dance to the beat while I'm rapping. Cause I used to be in the clubs dancing and shit. So like I could catch the beat like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
At the same time, since you'll be maintaining your 4 count while you're writing or rapping your lyrics. And once you get good at it, it almost becomes a part of your subconscious and you don't even really have to think about it. Now, another way that you can maintain your tempo, depending on the beat that you're rapping to, oftentimes the beat itself will have some type of internal 4 count within it. Now, as we discussed earlier, the kick and the snare is oftentimes to the 4 count. But sometimes other instruments may play in the 4 count as well, such as hi-hats, strings, bass lines, etc. Just listen to the beat and see if there's any noticeable 4 count sections that can help guide you in maintaining your 4 count. Now, once you've established your 4 count and you've...
Yeah, what he's trying to say is not always going to be a snare. Like, it might be a clap, right? That might be where you're supposed to put your rhyme. It might be a clap, it might be the snare, it might be... a snare drum. It might even be a snare drum, or I'm trying to think what else is used in place. Anyway, it won't always be the snare. It's you. Matter of fact, 90% of songs, it's gonna be a snare, but the other last 10%, some producers or beat makers, they'll switch it up. In my song Shadows of Darkness, I put a cricket. I put a cricket sound to make it scarier, because the song is called Shadows of Darkness. So to make it scarier, I put a cricket on top of every single snare. So like, if you listen to the whole song, you hear crickets on top of the snare.
Been able to maintain your 4 count, it's time to start moving on to actually coming up with our cadences by scatting and then putting lyrics to it. For example,
Okay. Let's stop him there, because he already explained that in the other video. Some of these videos are old, and he what you call it? He redid them more structured, no pun intended. A lot of his videos.
people first start learning to rap, they typically focus on writing lyrics first because that's what already makes...
Oh, you know what? I haven't explained how to pick a subject. So I was asking Google this. I was like, can you tell me the percentage of songs that are love songs? Can you tell me the percentage of songs that are club songs, and so on and so forth? I was talking to Google for a while doing that, and Google basically was like, oh, 70% of songs are love songs, whatever, right? So you wanna, when you are trying to think of lyrics, right? Let's say you got writer's block and you don't know what to write about. You're just trying to pick a subject. Just try to think in those terms. Yo, look, 70% of songs are made out of love songs. 20% of songs is made out of club songs, right? That's 90%. Then 5% of music is like drug music, Jimi Hendrix type of shit. And then the last 5% is like anyway, I'm just trying to give you what the fuck can you call it? I'm trying to give you an idea of how to write, how to come up with a subject or a topic for a song. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, right? So you already know, I should make a love song maybe, or I should make a gangster rap song. Typically you already know you're gonna be talking about cocaine, drugs, guns, some gangster shit, robbery. You know what I'm saying? Damn, what video was that? The guy was talking about how to go from, well, first he said when you first start your first couple of bars, he was saying to set the scene, like a movie, set the topic, set the scene. So I know you watched a whole bunch of movies in your life, or even TV shows. What do? They set the scene. Boom, opening. Let's start with, I don't know, Avengers movies, right? Usually they introduce you to some villain, right, in the beginning of the movie. Then the next scene is introducing all the characters again. Oh, look, here's what Iron Man been doing. Oh, here's what Captain America was doing off screen before the movie started. They setting the scene. Then that's the first couple of bars, or maybe even the first verse. Then the second verse, you setting a conflict. Why are you making this song? Why did you decide to pick up the mic and start rapping? Why did you want to sing about this person? That's what the second verse is usually about. Then the third verse is the conclusion, or even the closure of the song, the conclusion, the final solution to the problem of the song that you just made. What did you learn? What's the moral of the story? What are you gonna do now? Like, oh, I lived, like, matter of fact, Cardi B song Bodak Yellow, I was just listening to that shit the other day, and she said I used to live in the Peas, Frosted Flakes. Now it's a crib. Now she said now it's a community with the gates, something like that, right? I used to live in the projects, Frosted Flakes. Now it's a crib with the house with gates. So she in 2 bars, basically, in 2 bars, she did what I just explained. She went from conflict. She went from scene, set the scene, conflict, and then conclusion. In 2 bars, she did that shit that fast, right? I used to eat Frosted Flakes or something, Lucky Charms with the Frosted Flakes. Now it's a house with the gates, some shit like that, right? A lot of listeners like that shit. Me, I come from the mixtape era. I've been listening to mixtapes since like the 90s. So like those rappers, I don't even know most of their names no more. A lot of them, I don't even know most of their names. You know, the underground rappers from the mixtapes. But their subjects was just like completely random. You know what I'm saying? Like they would just talk about, and then there's no chorus in a lot of those songs. It's just a freestyle throughout the whole song. So I grew up listening to that type of music, right? So I got used to it. So like now when I do it, I'm basically copying what they did. You know what I'm saying? Just a whole freestyle to the whole beat with no chorus, no bridge, no nothing. You're just putting words together to show off, almost like Peacock. Like look at how nice I am. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that.
Makes sense to them. But they quickly realize that those rap lyrics don't sound so good over the instrumental. Well, today I'm going to help you fix that by showing you how to fit your rap lyrics to the beat by understanding the science behind structuring your rap lyrics. Today I'm going to be using an instrumental that I produced called Chillax, and if you like this instrumental and you want to support the channel, I'll post a link to where you can purchase it in the video's description below. Now, when it comes to structuring your rap lyrics, the main thing that you need to check out is how many syllables are you trying to fit into one bar. This will likely be determined by where you are placing your end rhyme, which is oftentimes around the fourth beat, which is typically where the second snare lands on each bar. There's typically 2 snares per bar, which lands on the second and fourth beat, and the fourth beat is usually where we place the first rhyme of our rhyme scheme. And if you're not sure what a snare sounds like, here's a quick demo. Now, newer rappers is...
So look, it's gonna sound like this. Look, it's gonna sound like this. I'm a rap to his beat, right? Boom.
Usually where we place the first rhyme of our rhyme scheme. And if you're not sure what a snare sounds like, here's a quick demo.
Oh, I'm a rhyme to the snare. I don't really care when I'm coming right here. Watch me rhyme to the shit with my hair. I don't really care when I'm coming with the snare.
Now, newer rappers will usually place too many syllables in the bar, which cause their words to get slurred and jumbled up. For an example, I commend you for your desire to learn to rap. I know it can be frustrating when your lyrics don't really snap. Or rappers won't have enough syllables in a bar, so they stretch some of their words out too long in their efforts to fill the bar in more and push their rhyme to the fourth beat. For an example, I commend you for your desire to learn to rap. It sucks when lyrics don't snap. Now, there's no set amount of syllables that you must use each bar, but there are some good general numbers to shoot for. On the low end, you could use as little as 6 to 8 syllables with some pauses to fill in the bar, instead of only stretching words out to make it sound good. For an example, I commend you for your desire to learn to rap. Once you start, don't look.
You see, in the other video, he said it was 10 to 13 syllables. You see? In the other video. Now here, he's saying 6 to 8 syllables. Instead of stretching your words out, use pausing to fill your bars in and place your rhyme on the fourth beat. You see what I'm saying? So I guess a better number would be from 8 to 13. That's the first number I said when I first started talking about syllables. 8 to 13 syllables. Anyway.
That, and on the high end, try to keep your max syllable count to around 10 to 13 syllables per bar. I commend you for your desire to learn to rap. Once you embark on your music journey, don't look back. Now, you could fit more than 13 syllables in a bar, especially if you're trying to rap really fast by using 30-second notes. But 13 syllables is a good general number to shoot for on the high end, but it's not a rule. The reason that I say 13 syllables is a good amount is because rappers typically use 16th notes more than any other rhythmic music note, and you can fit a total of 16 16th notes per bar, which is 4 16th notes per beat. But here's the thing, all syllables are not the same length. For an example, the word no is shorter than the word breathe. So if you were to use a max of 13 syllables in a bar.
So when I first heard him say that, 2 years ago, whatever, I was still confused. I was like, yo, there's only one syllable in the word breathe. There's only one syllable in the word no. So he's gonna go on to explain that breathe would technically be 2 syllables, because you have to stretch out the last 3 letters, which is breathe. Breathe. That's what he's talking about. Just to inform you.
You're leaving yourself enough room to use up to 3/8 notes for either your longer stressed syllables, or you can use this flex space to actually take a breath. And please remember this, when you're structuring your rap lyrics over an instrumental, you don't have to be this analytical about everything. Most of us rappers are strictly doing all of this by ear, and you only need to get this analytical about things when you're struggling to solve an issue. I hope this video helped you gain a deeper understanding behind the science of rap. And if it did, let me...
Matter of fact, when I was writing that new song, one of those bars, I was saying too much stuff, and I had to slow it down. I had to delete words. I had to fix up a couple of bars in there before I put it out, before I recorded it, I'm sorry. And that's what he's talking about, basically. Just like, don't say too much and don't say too little, basically. Fill up every single part. Oh, you don't even have to
be teaching you about musical time.
You don't even have to, because he was just telling you in the other video to take breaths. So, you know what I've been noticing? Rappers sometimes won't even... I did it twice so far, but sometimes rappers will skip a bar, right? They will stay quiet for one whole bar before coming back in and rhyming again. And I did that on, I think I did it in my Radiant song on the second verse. After DJ Clue finishes talking, right after the first verse, in between the first and second verse, right after DJ Clue finishes talking, the snare kicks in 2 times, and then I start rapping again for the second verse. So I skipped the bar on purpose. And I think that song I just posted on my YouTube page, Party and Bullshit with Joel Santana and Jadakiss. On Jadakiss's verse, he did it as well. The snare hit, right? The chorus finished, right? Joel's was doing the chorus, so the chorus finishes, the snare hits, Jadakiss is still quiet, and then he comes in on the second snare, excuse me. I don't know why people do that. I don't even know why the fuck I did it. I think I heard it on one of this guy's fucking videos, and that's why I did it. He said dissected me. Hold on, man, because we've been here 2 hours, so that's why I'm trying to rush through it. But we just hit the 2-hour mark. I'm about to get up out of here is what I'm trying to say, and that is, yeah, that's done. This is the last video. All right, 7 minutes. Let's see.
And how it can improve your cadences. And of course, I'm going to show you some live examples right here in the studio. So without further ado, let's get it!
This guy.
And you, another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to actually dissect beats by understanding musical time. So that's understanding what a 4 count is,
how to double that up in what's called double time, and taking a 4 count, turning it into an 8 count, and doing a triple time, which is taking a 8 count and turning it into a 16 count, and how this will allow you to understand how you can move around in the beat, dissect beats, and understand different ways that you can come up with cadences and flows to the music. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it.
You know what? I just remembered something. Hold on. I remember I was talking about 50 Cent's 21 Questions like an hour ago. So I remember writing that down somewhere. Hold on. Let me find it. Hold on. 21 Questions. Yep, here it is. I hope this is it. You see? Look. So right here I put 21 Questions, 50 Cent. Song structure. So you see it's it's 8 bars for the chorus. He starts the song with the chorus. Or maybe he starts the song with the bridge. I don't remember. Oh, matter of fact, he does start the song with the bridge. He says, I just wanna chill and twist a lot. Cash stunts in my 745. Baby girl, won't you just come next to me? And then the chorus comes in with Nate Dogg, where he says, girl, when you think of show me now. I don't remember the song. And how would you still make love to me, girl? Right? And then the 16 right there, that's 50 Cent's verse. That's 50 Cent's verse. And then another chorus with Nate Dogg, then another verse with 50 Cent, and then back into the bridge and the chorus again. Or the chorus and then the bridge at the end. And then I put here, first and last 8 has 2 different hooks. Oh yeah, okay, cause Nate Dogg changed up his the last 8 bars in that, and it's not the same as the chorus. And then I put second, middle, and second last 8 has the same hook, which is the chorus. Then for those 2-minute songs from the SoundCloud rappers is what they called. As you can see, I put a 6 bar chorus, 13 bar verse. So it's a 6 bar chorus, 13 bar verse, then 6 bar chorus again, 12 bars for another verse, for a second verse, and then the number 4 is like a bridge or a chorus to end, to finish the song. The fuck I put here? Happy slaves are the biggest enemy of freedom. Halloween is Illuminati holiday. What the fuck did I put here? Look at the date, February. Pay taxes to Illuminati, 20 billion a day. He lost that money. There's Illuminati. Okay, let me stop. I'm getting off subject. Sorry. But anyways, you see what I was talking about with the bars. So you can have like a map of how to make your songs. That's what I did. Some people, they'll put some people are so professional with making music that they don't even have to fucking write words. They'll write numbers instead, right? And then put the words, right? Or they'll even put just letters like A, B. A is the rhyming word, B is the I don't know. B is something else, but it like A is the rhyming word, so they'll put the letter A everywhere they want to rhyme on the whole entire song. And then they'll put words on top of the A to make it rhyme. If that makes sense. Like a map. like a blueprint. A blueprint is better. Is a better word. Like a blueprint, for the foundation of the song, right? And then they'll add in the words whenever the fuck they feel like it. Before they make the song, before they go record the song. I can't do all that shit. I have to write words. I gotta see what the fuck I'm talking about before I say anything. The fucking video reset. Anyway.
You.
Okay, we're not gonna go through that again.
Right back. Now what I've done is basically make a simple beat, kind of like a Timbaland type beat, just to demonstrate in music different times, different types of beats. So your most basic one is your 4 count, which is 4 beats per measure. Then you have your 8 count, which is doubling that 4 count into 8. And then you have your 16 count, which is doubling that 8 into a 16. So I always recommend whenever you listen to a beat and you're about to try to write to it or rap to it, find the 4 count. Okay, and that's the easiest one to find. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Typically that snare is gonna fall on the 2nd and 4th beat. Listen to this beat. 2, 3, 1, 3. Okay? So you want to find that, and then you can double that up, and you can make it into an 8 count. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So imagine the count as you rapping. Imagine that is your cadences. So in this beat, I have no hi-hats. If you listen, there's no hi-hats playing right now. I'm going to load up different types of hi-hats. The first hi-hat is going to be to a 4 count. The second hi-hat is going to be to an 8 count. And the third hi-hat is going to be to a 16 count. And this is going to allow you to follow along as we're increasing the beats per measure. Now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with tempo. Has nothing to do with tempo. It's going to be the same beat. But all we're doing is when we go from a 4 count to an 8 count to a 16 count, we're just increasing the amount of beats per measure. Okay, so a 4 count, 4 beats per measure, 8 count, 8 beats per measure, and 16 count, 16 beats.
So what he's explaining is that the count itself, you can add the words there, right? So like, you see how he started with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he jumped it. He doubled it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the beat, right? Well, the 16 is those fast rappers that I was talking about earlier. They be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know how the fuck they could fit all that shit in one bar, but their brains are different, man. I'm nowhere close to that shit.
Per measure, okay? So, as I play them, I'm gonna
Those are those special ed motherfuckers.
start practicing to that hi-hat, and then I'm gonna start filling in gaps in the hi-hat from when the hi-hat hits from one spot to the other. I'm gonna start filling that in, and that's how I'm gonna start kind of creating cadences, okay? So, let's get right to it. Here we go. The 4 count hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pack, grind, pull, time, late, grind, pull, time. Now let me fill it in. Time, break, time, glow, grind. Poke to crack, the poke tat it won't pack. When the pack, the growth, the pack to the glow back. When I'm back, the knack, the pull, the cat, it roll back. When I grab, attack, the one, the cat, a toe tack. Okay? 8 count. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Tap, 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 rap like poke pack, weights like poke pack, what pike, toe crack. Start filling it in. Poke pack, rap to pat up a cat, when opponent pack tack, reach the pack, the tab so we can pack lack. But I want to pack lack to the low and that rack. I want to pack tack to the Toby tack rack, lit up on the pack rack to the one to pack lack. Alright. Now let's go to 16 count. This is where most people rap at. A lot of rappers rap at 16 count. Here we go. on the capital, tat I want the bat, I want the rabbit on the cat, I want the pat, I want the cat upon it. We start trying to fill it in. On the pat, I want the capital, I want the pat, I want the cat, I want the pat, on the T with a one compact until it with a pack and told it breaking low. I don't want to keep on till it when I fit it, when I get it, when I feed it, when I peak and po. Had a one compact until it with a pack and told it break the flow. Had I want that pat, I told that leg and told my leak and flow. I don't want to keep controlling till it with a pack and told them break the flow. Hit it when I keep consider when I get it, when I get it, when I get it, when the beat and blow. So there you go. That's how I like to dissect beats, study the 4 count, the 8 count, the 16 count, which gives me a really good understanding of all the beats that I have to work with within that track. Okay, and I can kind of reflect on me as an artist, how I like to rap, how I like to sound, and it gives me an idea of what I'm capable of doing to this track. Okay, and just because you're rapping to a 16 count or an 8 count or a 4 count, you don't have to be restricted by those. Not to one track, not to one verse, or not even one bar. You don't have to be committed to it to the whole track. You can literally switch between all of those within one bar if you wanted to. Just have fun with it. Do what feels right to you. This is clearly an exercise strictly for you to understand and kind of dissect music, to better understand what it is that you're capable of doing to the track. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful, if you have any questions, or maybe you have different techniques. I will.
So hopefully now you know how to rap a little bit better if you were struggling with rapping. I learned a lot from these two guys, the Rap Coach on YouTube and Cole My Studios on YouTube. I learned a lot from them. I haven't watched none of their videos for like a whole year, 2 years now, well, a year and a half now. But again, I've said this story before, but I've been rapping since I was younger. I used to make music with my friends, but we had no idea what the hell we were doing, and we were using like tape decks and CDs and stuff back then. I kept rapping by myself in my head though, pause, like I didn't have an audience. I was just rapping just to rap in my head, to beats. When I'm playing video games, I'll rap to the beat in the video game. If I'm watching a movie, or let's say I'm listening to regular rap songs, and then at the end of the song they'll let the beat play a little bit, I would rap to that. And then after a while I was like, damn man, I sound pretty good. But the technology didn't, like these apps that I've recommended, again, it's the Voloco app, Voloco on Play Store, Google Play Store, if you want to download it yourself. But apps like that weren't around, not even 5 to 10 years ago. I was looking for apps 5 to 10 years ago, which would be 2020, 2021, 2020 to like 2015, 2016. I could not find no apps back then that I could record on. Then the rapper Mims, M-I-M-S or M-I-M-Z, from New York City, he's a Dominican guy. He was a one-hit wonder. He had a song called This Is Why I'm Hot, but he left rap music because he didn't like the 360 deals or whatever, the fake business models. And he went and fucking created his own studio app, is what he did. But the problem is you got to pay for it. It's like $50 or something like that, $60. And I was like, nah, I'm not paying that, because then what if I don't like the way it works? I just spent that money for no reason. And that's when I found Voloco. Well, actually, it was a bunch of apps I was trying to use before I found Voloco, but I finally landed on Voloco. It was the most comfortable, easiest comfortable one to make music, and it sounds good. It doesn't sound like cheap audio. That's why I recommended that one and only app earlier. There's also an app called Lander, and it's to master your music. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. So hold on, let me open up the Google Play Store. Oh shit, it was right there. The Google Play Store page. And this app helps you master the song, which is basically, it's going to increase the volume, it's going to increase the bass, increase everything. Your voice is going to sound more clearer, you're going to hear it more crispier. The problem with this app, I think you got to pay for it inside of the app. So like, let me go into it so I can show you. I tried to do one of my songs, but I think it was charging me money. Hold on, what the fuck am I doing? Let me go into it. So, hold on. I'm gonna open up oh look, it says sign up for free, log in. No. I don't wanna log in. Oh, it's not even gonna let me in. Alright, so, oh man, I gotta log in. You see, it's already giving me a problem. And I don't remember it. I don't even remember it doing that the last time I was using it. But that's the one right there anyways. Lander, master and release music. The app was created by Lander Audio. Land R. So this is what it looks like when you're using it. I should have did this for the Voloco app, so you can see what it looks like. And by the way, I'm not advertising. They're not paying me for this advertisement. Just in case you're wondering if I'm trying to advertise this fucking app to y'all. No. Matter of fact, Voloco charges money too to use it, to unlock all the features. You could use it. You could put a beat there. You could put your voice, and you could change the voice a little bit with some auto-tune options that they have there if you need it. But all the other voice changers are locked behind a paywall. And then the other thing that's locked behind the paywall is you can't put this. Damn, man, it's hard to explain. When you are recording the song, if you click on the voice area, it lets you import sound effects. I use it to import all types of noises, whatever the fuck, gunfire, fucking electricity, thunder, fucking DJs, DJ Clue, and you could get all these sounds from YouTube, download them, all types of different sounds, sound effects. But what it's supposed to be is, if you, let's say you recorded just your voice, right? Let's say I want to record me singing somewhere, and then I don't have a beat, right? I don't have an instrumental. So I press record, and then I record my voice. Then I finally go and I find the instrumental that's gonna that sounds good with the song that I was recording before. So boom, I got the MP3 of my voice already. Now I just add in the beat, and then throw the MP3 on top of it, fix it up a little bit if I need to, move my voice around, and boom, I just did a whole song that easy. I didn't even have to record it on top of the beat. That's what that feature is technically for. But like I said, I started adding in sound effects. I started adding in all types of shit in there. Look, right here is what I'm talking about. You see, when you click right here, the voice area, it says import, and then you can add in sound effects and stuff right there. And then this is what's locked behind the paywall. You see all these different voices right here? That's what's locked behind the paywall. But you don't really need it. If you could sing, You don't need auto-tune unless you want to spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They let you do echoes. They let you change up the voice a little bit. Not too much, but if you want to fucking unlock the whole shit, then yeah, they're going to charge you like $60 a year, I think it is. Or $50 a year or something like that. I think you could pay for 1 month. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Cause I just use the free version, basically. So if you got the money, you could pay them. Oh, look here. Oh, no. That's what it looks like, though. So this is gonna be your voice right here, and then this is the beat playing. I emailed these people to let us edit the beat. They never changed the app till this day. It's still the same. So they didn't give a fuck about my suggestion. And then it says it, oh, would you like to suggest any features? And that's what I suggested. They said nope. They said, we don't care. You can't edit the beat. Because what I was trying to do was, you know how some songs, they'll say a bunch of rhymes, and then at the last rhyme, when they want to emphasize something, they'll cut off the whole beat, so all you hear is the voice. All you hear is the rapper's voice. So it'll be like, boom, boom. And then the rapper's like, yeah, I fucking kill you. I come through quick and I don't feel you. And then the last word, they like, and I take pills too. But the whole beat drops. I take pills too. And then the beat comes back in. That's what I was trying to do. But, you know, they didn't care. Anyway, now that you see how I learned to rap better, now we're gonna listen to the results of what I learned from all these guys. There's another guy there that he puts up a chalkboard and he'll write out everything he's talking about. There's another guy who uses like some type of computer program to draw everything he's talking about on screen when he's trying to teach you to rap. But I don't remember those guys' YouTube names is the problem. But you could just put learn to rap on YouTube and all these different videos of these guys start popping up easily. Then YouTube will start recommending you more and you can learn how to rap better and better. I picked those videos specifically because those are the most important parts, but there's a whole lot more to rapping. It's not that serious. It's really not. I mean, you could with what I just showed, you could do a whole song with just that information. Easy, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Now some rappers like Lil Wayne and Jay-Z, they freestyle their music, so it's different. Like they got a whole different structure to how they make their music, and not just them, but it's like it's Juice WRLD, the rapper Styles P from The Lox, Jadakiss himself as well. They don't write, they just like freestyling basically, but they know how to count it so good that they don't need to write. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to write their music. It's muscle memory. Like you know how you're working at a job and after like 2 or 3 weeks it just becomes automatic. You already know what to do. You know where everything goes. You know your daily routine, and your job is done. You know what I'm saying? Well, these guys been there for like 30 years rapping since the 1990s with Biggie and Lil Wayne again since the 1990s and Jay-Z. So they got muscle memory of doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I could do it, but like not really, because I'm not a professional rapper. You know what I'm saying? And then, matter of fact, Jay-Z just said that the reason he had to learn how to freestyle is because he never had time. He never had time to sit down and write something. I mean, I'm pretty sure now he has time because he's a billionaire, but back then he claimed he didn't have time. He was always doing a show, albums to do, freaking business deals to basically he didn't have time to write. So that's why he had to learn how to freestyle. He said that he would be in places where he couldn't write on paper like a tissue or nothing like that. So he would literally force himself to remember. As a matter of fact, Questlove said a long time ago, like fucking 15, 20 years ago, or maybe even 10 years ago, Questlove said that he's the one who taught Jay-Z how to do that shit. He said to say the rhyme 17 times specifically, or 18 times specific. No, I'm sorry, 8 times, 8 or 7 times specifically. By the time you get to the 8th time of repeating the exact same rhyme in your head 8 times, you'll remember it by the 8th time. You know what I'm saying? So like let's just use an example. I put my phone on top of the dresser, right? You know how you always losing your phone, right? Or your keys to your house or your apartment, right? So you like, fuck, where the fuck is my keys? And then, because you said it 8 times in your head, oh, I put them over here. Oh, I put my keys on top of the kitchen table. I put my keys on top of the kitchen table. I put my keys on top of the kitchen table. Put my keys on top of the kitchen table. By the time you get to the 8th time, you already remembered the whole shit. So then when you go looking for it again, you're like, oh yeah, I put that shit in the fucking kitchen table. Hold on, let me go over there. And guess what? Your keys are right there on top of the kitchen table. Well, that's how Jay-Z remembered his rhymes. Repeating them over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? And then there's also improv, which is what the battle rappers do. Battle rappers like Loaded Lux and Murder Mook, Tay Rock, sometimes they go on improv and they just start freestyling basically on stage. And there's also rebuttals that they do where they flip somebody's rhyme. Hollow the Dawn is good at that shit. He'll write it down in between the rhymes, in between the rounds, excuse me. He did it to Joe Buttons a lot in that battle, where when it's Joe Buttons' turn to rhyme, to rhyme, Hollow the Dawn is rebuttaling his whole shit, writing it down right in front of him, and then when it's his turn, he'll spit what he just wrote down. I'm like, yo, this guy is fucking nuts, man. But let's get out of here. This is my newest song, Disintegrate. These are the results of me learning how to rap from all those guys. So shout out to Komai Studio and shout out to the Rap Coach. The Rap Coach is actually a Crip gang member, if any Crips are out there listening to me. So your cuzzo is up in there teaching you how to rap, you know? And Komai Studios, he actually has a bunch of music out himself. He also does classes, and he has his own studio. I think he said he was recording somebody's album there recently, some underground rapper. And then the Rap Coach as well, he got his own music as well. I don't know their rap names, but that's what they both claimed in separate videos. I'm out of here. See you guys in the next one. Later. My flow rings like tropical. She likes what she sees, optical, popsicle. She gives me topical, despotical. She wants my particles. Planting seeds in the streets, sunlight showers me. splish splashy. I love trees. I love trees. We specifically. My flow is like a Lamborghini. Makes bitches suck on my wee wee. When she sees me, she don't wanna leave me. Her wet box be sounding like a squeegee. Traded real labor for fake money to pay illegal taxes in this country, to impress others and to not look bummy. Crazy like stealing candy from a baby, and they could spit on my dick like rabies. Diamond shining, Illuminati. Eyes is watching, they wanna copy. Boys acting sweeter than your granny. Burners and heaters, you could call it the swammy. Infiltrate, Illuminati orgies like a spy. They pontificating that we all gonna die. According to the Illuminati eye, reportedly they bend guys looking like hentai. At the nexus, music is next to perfection. Infectious insurrections, music connects us. It's a head trip, it leads to conception. She wants my sons in her solar plexus. You got low self-esteem. How you mad at me but not Epstein? I be wavy in the face like jet skis. I be crazy sometimes like Jay-Z. Swim with the sharks, scuba, feed the dogs, Ukanuba. All in the computers, they do voodoo on the troopers. Intruders and abusers in the face. Illuminati jewelers in space. One last thing I forgot to speak about. One last thing is you don't have to rush to write a song. You could take 2 months, a year, 5 years, 1 day, 5 hours, 2-3 hours, 10 hours. You could take as long as you want to write a song. The way I do it sometimes, like when I'm having writer's block and I don't know what to talk about, I'll wait, right? And I'll talk to people. I'll watch movies. I watch TV shows. I listen to interviews. I listen to other people's songs. I'm playing video games. I'm living my life, making money, whatever. And I'll hear somebody say something. I'll hear the character in the video game say something. I'll hear a rapper say something. I'll hear the movie star, the movie actor say something. I'll take that part, whatever they said, write it down. Boom, I'll get an idea from that. I don't have to say it exactly how they said it. I'll switch up the words. I'll use synonyms. I'll say something different. I'll say the same thing they said, but with different words. You know what I'm saying? There's also something called paying homage, where you repeat something another rapper said. Matter of fact, you could listen to the song by Lil Wayne called Dr. Carter, and he technically teaches you how to rap with that song, Dr. Carter by Lil Wayne. I don't remember all the verses, but I was gonna spit one of the verses, but I don't remember it. But anyways, you can listen to it yourself. Dr. Carter by Lil Wayne. And that's another way to write a song, basically. Like, if you can't come up with a song right on the spot, think of that idea. Like, let's say you're watching your favorite artist on whatever platform, and they say some inspirational words. You could take those inspirational words, write them down. You know what I'm saying? You could shorten it. You could stretch it out. Pause. You could flip all the words and say something different. You could get an idea from whatever they just said, or you could say it exactly how they said it, and then make the last word rhyme with another sentence, in the next bar. But I just wanted to put that in there before we leave. See you guys on the next one.